What is up, everybody? RandomRandomMan here. Long time no movie review, but I am back to bring you my review for the 2016 film adaptation of the BFG. Now, the plot is, of course, based on the novel of the same name and written by Roald Dahl, as it follows Sophie, played by Ruby Barnhill, an orphan who gets captured in the middle of one night by a giant, played by Mark Rylance. It soon turns out that this giant, though, is very nice and has a heart of gold, as Sophie soon calls him the Big Friendly Giant, or BFG. It is not all well in this world, however, as there are other much bigger giants who eat smaller people like Sophie, and it is up to her and the BFG to stop them. The two lead performances in this movie are simply exceptional. Ruby Barnhill does a marvelous job portraying Sophie, as she provides a sense of grit and innocence that left me wanting to see what this character would do next with the determined attitude that she carries throughout, as at times she may be scared, but she learns to be brave throughout the whole plot of this movie. This is one of the better child performances that I've seen in recent memory. The same definitely also applies with our title character himself, the BFG, portrayed by Mark Rylance. This guy is a class act. I truly believed he was the character, not only with how the fantastic motion capture work and other visual effects truly bring this character to life, but with the mannerisms, the way his character speaks with the dialogue, and just the all-around warmth that this character provides, and having some truly excellent chemistry with Barnhill's character. Now, I do have a faint yet fond memory of learning about the original story involving the BFG and Sophie many years ago, as I have with other really enjoyable works by the same author, such as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Twits, Matilda, James and the Giant Peach. This guy has written so many enjoyable stories over the years that have spawned in his career. And with the plot playing out in this movie, again, while I do have a faint memory of the book, I actually have flipped through a couple sections of this novel and have seen that pretty much every major plot point from the book is covered in the movie. And the way the first half of this film does go down narratively is so imaginative and wonderful to see. When the movie did reach its halfway point, though, it went from being utterly whimsical to weirdly bizarre. Now, that is how the original book went down in its narrative without giving away any spoilers, but I think in how it transitioned to film, it made for something that was truly jarring from how we saw the first half of the movie go to the second half, as it goes into far-fetched territory that would seem hard to believe for some people, but this is how Roald Dahl originally wrote his novel back all those years ago. This also leads to some of the characters getting underdeveloped, as more characters are introduced in the second half, but the other much bigger giants that do get screen time here are really underdeveloped, along with some of the characters that pop up in the second half. With that being said, however, the visual effects that are used on those said giants, including on the BFG himself, look superb. This movie is directed by the legendary Steven Spielberg, one of my all-time favorite movie directors, and anytime you get to see a movie that is directed by him, you know you will be treated to some cinematic eye candy. The motion capture work on the BFG himself deserves a very special mention, because not only did I believe that the character was really there at all times, but the photorealistic interpretation of him made him look faithful in the design to the original illustrations done by Quentin Blake all those years ago, but also providing resemblance in how the actor Mark Rylance really does look in real life into the design of the BFG. Kind of like how the Marvel Cinematic Universe made Mark Ruffalo's Hulk give himself some resemblance to the character from the comics, but also to the actor himself. The rest of the visuals are also really stupendous. The world building is so immersive, with not only looks at the giants, but also the look of the giant country world that this movie takes place in for the majority of it, with how everything looks so much bigger in size compared to Sophie. The way the second half of the movie, again, without spoiling it, goes into such really nice detail with its locations and characters. This is just a production that makes it look super appealing to the eye, but this movie still provides a lot of heart at its center. The message of this film, of how dreams are interpreted and how we live in dreams essentially, sprinkled throughout the rest of the plot, is something that resonated with me. This is by no means one of Steven Spielberg's best directed movies. No, it would have been ridiculous for me to think going into this movie that it would be one of his top 10 best directed movies of all time. However, if you're looking for something that is gonna be a treat for the whole family, then this definitely fits the bill. This movie with its excellent chemistry between our two leads, the visually vibrant effects and the production design used throughout, the heartwarming tale at its core, even other technical elements that I haven't mentioned, like John Williams' score, the pacing all coming together at just under 2 hours. This is a film that will be enjoyed by anyone of all ages, including those who are fans of the original source material. I recommend this film. My final verdict for the BFG is 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of the BFG, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.